Thank you, Amarachi. Welcome to Sports News. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has paid glowing tribute to the former Nigerian coach Paul Hamilton, who passed on in Lagos after a protracted illness. The NFF described Hamilton as a hard-working and passionate administrator for his selfless contribution to the development of Nigerian football. Hamilton played for the senior national team in the 1960s and early 1970s. He coached the Super Eagles during the qualifiers for the 1990 FIFA World Cup and led the Super Falcons to the 1991 and 1995 FIFA Women's World Cups. In the meantime, FIFA has unveiled its slot allocation plan for the expanded 48-team World Cup in 2026. The World Football ruling body says Europe will get 16 places, Africa 9, Asia 8, South America 6, CONCACAF 6 and Oceania 1, totaling 46 slots. A six-nation playoff tournament to decide the last two slots will be taken.
Ongoing now within the confederations, between confederations, there are different ways of seeing this. Some are saying, well, it should be purely on sporting merits. Others are saying it should be purely on participation, percentage of number of members, and so on. You can see it in many different ways, of course. And there are many requests from many of them. I hope that we can find a good compromise, a good consensus, because at the end of the day, mathematics being a precise science and not just an opinion, if you have 48, it's more than 32, and it's 16 more than 32, so it should be possible that everyone has a little bit more than what they have now, so at the end everyone should be happier than now.
The deflecting game is not over as it concerns the future of Arsene Wenger at the Emirates ahead of Saturday's English Premier League clash against Manchester City. The manager says reporters will have to keep asking him about his future at Arsenal. He says, "One day I will answer."
But I'm very clear in my mind. But anyway, do I stay 2 months or 2 years? My commitment will be exactly the same. So the time I spent here does not influence at all my attitude. I've always been very clear in my mind, you know, and I will remain like that. But I think it's a subject that at the moment is not sorted completely out.
Two Turkish athletes, a long-distance runner Elvan Abelagiz and Gamze Bulut, are set to be stripped of silver medals from the 2008 and 2012 Olympic Games after being handed bans for doping. The sanctions will also mean the reallocation of medals awarded a decade ago at the 2007 Osaka Athletics World Championships. Bulut, a 1,500-meter silver medalist at London 2012, was handed a 4-year ban for a violation of the athlete's biological passport rules. That's it on Sports News. I'm Archie. We'll be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Nyota. There are strong indications the 15 ministers of the South African cabinet might have been sacked as part of the fallout of an urgent ANC meeting called tonight by President Jacob Zuma. According to reports, no names have been released, though it is said that 9 ministers and 6 deputies have been fired. At an earlier news briefing, it was gathered that Zuma had hinted on his intention to remove Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan based on an intelligence report which stated that he had set up meetings with people who could push for a change in government. Meanwhile, Reuters news agency has quoted a party sources saying that President Jacob Zuma is considering offering to step down next year, at least 12 months before his term as president ends, under a deal with opponents in his ruling party that would see Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan leave office now. Zuma is due to be replaced as leader of the African National Congress at a party conference in December after serving his allocated 2 terms. He is expected to remain the country's president until 2019, when elections are held. The United Nations Children's Fund says some 27 million people in 4 farming-threatened countries are reliant on unsafe water, which can lead to fatal diarrheal diseases among already malnourished children. UNICEF also says competition for water among people and animals is being reinforced as a result of seasonal dry weather.
Shortages, inadequate sanitation, poor hygiene practices, and disease outbreaks are posing an additional threat to severely malnourished children in northeast Nigeria, Somalia, South Sudan, and Yemen. The fund projected that the number of people in need of water, sanitation and hygiene in Somalia would increase from 3.3 million to 4.5 million in the coming weeks, with the country already recording 13,000 cases of cholera and acute watery diarrhea since the beginning of the year. Half of Sudan's water points have been damaged or destroyed, and UNICEF said competition for water among people and animals were being reinforced as a result of seasonal dry weather, with 5.1 million people lacking safe water and adequate sanitation. Almost 2 million Yemeni children are at risk of diarrheal disease, which, even before the conflict, were the second leading cause of death among children under the age of 5.
A hearing by the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee says Russia tried to hijack the country's democratic process in trying to help presidential nominee Donald Trump to win. The hearing began today, opening with remarks by ranking Democrat Mark Warner that Russia sought to hijack the U.S. democratic process by employing a disinformation campaign on social media, which he describes as Russian propaganda on steroids. He said embarrassing stolen information was released through websites as WikiLeaks at similarly choreographed times that would cause maximum damage to Hillary Clinton. And the main news again. The federal government today reaffirmed its commitment to reopening the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. On April 19th, the aviation minister, Hadi Sirika, offered an assurance that rehabilitation of the facility is 57% complete. That is the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.